Are you over 60 and feeling more anxious or forgetful than usual? You're not alone in this experience, and I want you to know that what you're feeling is more common than you think. If you've been noticing that your mind feels foggier than it used to, or if worry seems to creep in more often throughout your day, please know that there's nothing wrong with you. Your brain is simply responding to the changes and stresses that naturally come with this stage of life. What many people don't realize is that anxiety and memory are deeply connected. When we feel anxious, our ability to remember and think clearly becomes compromised. But here's the wonderful news I want to share with you today. Both anxiety and memory concerns can be improved naturally, safely, and effectively using gentle techniques that work with your body's own healing abilities. I'm here to reveal simple, powerful, and completely natural methods that can help protect your brain while bringing you the inner calm you deserve. These aren't complicated medical procedures or expensive treatments. These are time-tested, science-backed approaches that you can start using today, right in the comfort of your own home. Throughout this conversation, we're going to explore how anxiety affects your aging brain, recognize the signs that stress might be impacting your memory, and most importantly, discover practical techniques that can restore both your peace of mind and your mental clarity. You deserve to feel confident, calm, and mentally sharp, and I'm going to show you exactly how to achieve that. Let's start by understanding what's really happening in your brain when anxiety takes hold, because once you understand this connection, you'll see why the natural solutions I'm about to share are so incredibly effective. When we experience chronic stress and anxiety, our bodies produce elevated levels of a hormone called cortisol. Now, cortisol isn't inherently bad. In fact, it's designed to help us respond to immediate threats. But when stress becomes a constant companion, as it often does in our later years due to health concerns, financial worries, loss of loved ones, or simply the uncertainties that come with aging, cortisol levels remain persistently high. This chronic elevation of cortisol creates a cascade of effects in your brain that directly impact both your emotional well-being and your memory. High cortisol levels increase inflammation throughout your body, including in your brain. This inflammation acts like static on a radio, creating what we might call brain noise that interferes with clear thinking and memory formation. Even more concerning, chronic stress and elevated cortisol actually cause physical changes in your brain structure. The hippocampus, which is the brain's primary memory center, begins to shrink when exposed to prolonged stress. Think of your hippocampus as the librarian of your mind, carefully filing away new memories and helping you retrieve old ones. When this crucial area becomes compromised, you'll notice difficulties with forming new memories and accessing information you know is stored somewhere in your mind. The prefrontal cortex, responsible for executive functions like decision-making, planning, and emotional regulation, also suffers under chronic stress. This explains why anxiety can make you feel mentally scattered, unable to focus on tasks that once felt effortless, or emotionally reactive to situations that wouldn't have bothered you before. But here's what's truly remarkable and hopeful. The brain possesses an incredible ability called neuroplasticity, which means it can actually rewire and heal itself throughout your entire life. The damage caused by chronic stress and anxiety isn't permanent. Your brain wants to heal, and when you provide it with the right conditions through natural stress reduction techniques, it begins to restore itself. Studies have shown that when people reduce their stress levels through natural methods, the hippocampus can actually grow new cells and expand in size again. The prefrontal cortex regains its ability to regulate emotions effectively. The inflammatory processes that were creating brain fog begin to calm down. This means that the memory problems and anxiety you're experiencing now don't have to be your permanent reality. Long-term stress doesn't just affect individual brain regions. It disrupts the delicate communication networks between different areas of your brain. These networks are like highways of information, and when stress creates traffic jams and roadblocks, the smooth flow of thoughts, Memories and emotional regulation becomes compromised. The beautiful thing about understanding this connection is that it reveals why addressing anxiety naturally can have such profound effects on memory and overall cognitive function. When you calm your nervous system, you're not just feeling better emotionally, you're actually creating the optimal environment for your brain to function at its best. Your body operates on natural rhythms and cycles that promote healing when they're supported properly. Sleep cycles, stress response patterns, and even the daily fluctuations in various hormones all work together to maintain cognitive health. When anxiety disrupts these rhythms, everything becomes out of balance. But when you use natural techniques to restore these rhythms, your brain begins to function with the clarity and efficiency you remember from earlier years. Now let's talk about how to recognize whether anxiety might be affecting your brain function. Sometimes these signs are subtle, and you might have attributed them to simply getting older when they're actually responses to chronic stress that can be addressed. One of the most common signs is trouble recalling recent events. You might find yourself walking into a room and forgetting why you went there, or struggling to remember a conversation you had just yesterday while having no trouble recalling events from decades ago. This happens because stress interferes with the formation of new memories while leaving long-term memories relatively intact. Foggy thinking or feeling mentally slow is another telltale sign. You might notice that it takes longer to process information, make decisions, or find the right words during conversations. This mental sluggishness often feels frustrating because you know your mind used to work more quickly and efficiently. Difficulty staying focused is particularly common when anxiety affects cognitive function. You might start reading a book or watching a television program only to realize your mind has wandered and you haven't absorbed any of the information. Tasks that require sustained attention, like balancing a checkbook or following a recipe, might feel more challenging than they used to. Emotional reactivity often increases when anxiety impacts brain function. You might find yourself feeling irritated by small inconveniences, overwhelmed by decisions that once felt manageable, or unusually sensitive to criticism or conflict. This happens because the stressed brain has difficulty regulating emotional responses effectively. Mental fatigue is another crucial sign to recognize. Even when you haven't been physically active, your mind might feel exhausted by midday. Simple mental tasks might leave you feeling drained in a way that seems disproportionate to the effort required. Sleep disturbances are both a cause and a symptom of anxiety's effect on the brain. You might have trouble falling asleep because your mind races with worries, or you might wake up frequently during the night with anxious thoughts. Poor sleep then compounds cognitive difficulties because your brain needs quality rest to consolidate memories and clear out metabolic waste that accumulates during waking hours. If you're recognizing these patterns in your own experience, please be gentle with yourself. These are normal responses to stress, and they're your brain's way of signaling that it needs some extra care and support. The wonderful news is that every single one of these symptoms can improve dramatically when you begin implementing natural anxiety reduction and memory support techniques. Let's dive into the most effective natural approaches you can start using today to reduce anxiety and protect your memory. These techniques work by addressing the root causes of stress while supporting your brain's natural healing abilities. The first technique I want to share with you is one of the most powerful and immediate tools you have available: deep breathing, specifically a method called box breathing. This technique works by activating your parasympathetic nervous system, which is your body's natural relaxation response. When you breathe slowly and deeply, you send a direct signal to your brain that you're safe, which immediately begins to lower cortisol levels. Here's how to practice box breathing in a way that's comfortable and effective for seniors. Find a quiet place where you can sit comfortably with your feet flat on the floor and your hands resting gently in your lap. Close your eyes or soften your gaze downward. Now, breathe in slowly through your nose for a count of 4. Hold that breath gently for a count of 4. Exhale slowly through your mouth for a count of 4. Then hold empty for a count of 4 before beginning the next cycle. The beauty of box breathing is that it doesn't require any special equipment or complicated positions. You can do this while sitting in your favorite chair, lying in bed before sleep, or even while waiting at a doctor's appointment. Practice this for just 5 to 10 minutes daily, and you'll begin to notice that your baseline anxiety level decreases significantly over time. The second natural approach that provides tremendous benefits for both anxiety and memory is daily walks in nature. There's something almost magical about the combination of gentle physical movement and natural environments that helps reset your nervous system. When you walk outdoors, several beneficial processes occur simultaneously. The rhythmic nature of walking helps regulate your breathing and heart rate naturally. Your brain begins producing more of the neurotransmitters that promote calm and positive mood, including serotonin and endorphins. Exposure to natural light helps regulate your circadian rhythm, which improves sleep quality and mood stability. Even more fascinating, spending time in nature has been shown to reduce activity in the part of the brain associated with rumination and worry. When you're surrounded by trees, flowers, birds, or even just open sky, your mind naturally shifts away from anxious thoughts toward present moment awareness. For seniors, the ideal nature walk doesn't need to be strenuous or lengthy. A gentle 15 to 20-minute walk through a local park, around your neighborhood, or even through a shopping mall with skylights can provide significant benefits. The key is consistency rather than intensity. If walking is difficult for you, simply sitting outside in a garden or on a porch while breathing fresh air and observing natural elements can provide many of the same benefits. Let's talk about nourishing your brain through food choices, because what you eat has a direct impact on both anxiety levels and memory function. Your brain requires specific nutrients to produce the neurotransmitters that regulate mood and support memory formation. When you choose foods rich in these nutrients, you're literally feeding your brain the building blocks it needs for optimal function. Blueberries are often called nature's brain food, and for good reason. They're packed with compounds called anthocyanins that cross the blood-brain barrier and accumulate in areas crucial for memory. These compounds reduce inflammation in the brain and promote the growth of new brain cells. Adding a half cup of blueberries to your morning routine, whether fresh, frozen, or mixed into yogurt or oatmeal, can provide lasting cognitive benefits. Walnuts contain the highest levels of DHA omega-3 fatty acids of any nut. DHA is a primary structural component of brain tissue, and adequate levels are essential for memory formation and emotional regulation. The shape of a walnut even resembles a brain, which seems fitting given its powerful brain protective properties. Just a handful of walnuts daily can help reduce inflammation and support optimal brain function. Leafy green vegetables like spinach, kale, and Swiss chard are rich in folate, vitamin K, and antioxidants that protect against cognitive decline. These vegetables also contain nitrates that improve blood flow to the brain, ensuring that your brain cells receive adequate oxygen and nutrients. If you're not used to eating many greens, start by adding small amounts to soups, smoothies, or omelets. Turmeric, the golden spice that gives curry its color, contains a compound called curcumin that has remarkable anti-inflammatory and neuroprotective properties. Curcumin can cross the blood-brain barrier and has been shown to clear amyloid plaques associated with memory problems while promoting the growth of new brain cells. Adding turmeric to warm milk, tea, or cooking just a few times per week can provide significant benefits. Extra virgin olive oil is rich in compounds that protect brain cells from oxidative stress and inflammation. The Mediterranean diet, which features olive oil as a primary fat source, has been consistently associated with better cognitive function and lower rates of anxiety and depression in older adults. Use olive oil as your primary cooking fat and for salad dressings to maximize these benefits. Another powerful natural approach for reducing anxiety and supporting memory is mindful journaling or gratitude writing. This practice works by helping you process emotions constructively while training your brain to focus on positive aspects of your experience. When you write by hand, you engage areas of the brain involved in memory consolidation, which strengthens these neural pathways. The process doesn't need to be complicated or time-consuming. Simply spend 10 to 15 minutes each morning or evening writing about 3 things you're grateful for and why they matter to you. This could be as simple as appreciating a phone call from a friend, enjoying a beautiful sunset, or feeling grateful for a comfortable bed to sleep in. The act of identifying specific details about positive experiences helps counteract the brain's natural tendency to focus on problems and worries. Over time, this practice literally rewires your brain to notice and remember positive experiences more readily, which naturally reduces anxiety and improves overall mood. Creating daily quiet time through activities like reading, puzzles, or gentle meditation provides your brain with the restoration it needs to function optimally. In our constantly stimulating world, even seniors can experience overstimulation that keeps the nervous system in a heightened state. Quiet time allows your brain to shift into what neuroscientists call the default mode network, which is essential for memory consolidation and emotional processing. Reading is particularly beneficial because it engages multiple areas of the brain simultaneously while providing gentle mental stimulation. Choose books that bring you joy rather than stress. Fiction can be especially beneficial because it engages the imagination and provides an escape from daily worries. Even 15 to 30 minutes of reading daily can provide significant stress reduction and cognitive benefits. Puzzles, whether crosswords, jigsaw puzzles, or Sudoku, challenge your brain in ways that promote neuroplasticity while providing a focused activity that naturally calms anxious thoughts. The key is choosing puzzles that are challenging enough to be engaging, but not so difficult that they create frustration. Gentle meditation doesn't require any special training or beliefs. Simply sitting quietly and focusing on your breath for 10 to 20 minutes daily can significantly reduce cortisol levels and improve emotional regulation. If traditional meditation feels unfamiliar, try guided meditations specifically designed for seniors, which are available through libraries, community centers, or simple smartphone apps. Anti-inflammatory herbs and teas provide a gentle, natural way to reduce the inflammation that contributes to both anxiety and memory problems. These plant medicines have been used for thousands of years to promote calm and cognitive clarity, and modern research confirms their effectiveness. Lemon balm is a member of the mint family that has remarkable calming properties. It works by gently supporting the neurotransmitter systems that promote relaxation while reducing cortisol production. Lemon balm tea can be enjoyed hot or cold and has a pleasant, mild flavor that most people find soothing. Drinking a cup in the evening can promote better sleep quality, which is essential for memory consolidation. Ashwagandha is an adaptogenic herb that helps your body manage stress more effectively. Adaptogens work by supporting your adrenal glands and helping normalize cortisol levels throughout the day. This herb has been shown to significantly reduce anxiety symptoms while improving memory and cognitive function in older adults. Ashwagandha can be taken as a supplement or consumed as a tea, typically in the morning or early afternoon. Green tea contains L-theanine, an amino acid that promotes relaxation without drowsiness. L-theanine works synergistically with the small amount of caffeine in green tea to provide calm alertness that's ideal for mental clarity. Unlike coffee, which can increase anxiety in sensitive individuals, green tea provides gentle stimulation that supports focus while reducing stress. Chamomile is perhaps the most well-known calming herb, and for good reason. It contains compounds that bind to the same brain receptors as anti-anxiety medications, but without any side effects or dependency risk. Chamomile tea before bedtime can significantly improve sleep quality, which is crucial for both emotional regulation and memory consolidation. Establishing consistent bedtime routines and creating tech-free evenings is crucial for both anxiety reduction and memory preservation. The blue light emitted by televisions, tablets, and smartphones interferes with melatonin production, which disrupts sleep quality and increases cortisol levels. Poor sleep creates a vicious cycle where anxiety increases and memory function declines. Creating a calming evening routine signals to your brain that it's time to begin winding down. This might include dimming lights an hour before bedtime, enjoying a cup of herbal tea, listening to gentle music, or reading a few pages of a favorite book. The specific activities matter less than the consistency of the routine. Consider making your bedroom a sanctuary for rest by removing electronic devices and keeping the temperature slightly cool. Use blackout curtains or an eye mask to ensure complete darkness, which supports deeper sleep phases crucial for memory consolidation. If you wake during the night with anxious thoughts, practice the box breathing technique we discussed earlier rather than reaching for your phone or turning on bright lights. Learning something new is one of the most powerful ways to promote neuroplasticity and build cognitive resilience. When you challenge your brain with novel activities, you literally create new neural pathways while strengthening existing ones. This process not only improves memory, but also provides a sense of accomplishment and purpose that naturally reduces anxiety. The key is choosing learning activities that feel enjoyable rather than stressful. This might be learning a new recipe, trying a craft like knitting or woodworking, studying a foreign language, taking up painting, or even learning to use technology more effectively. The goal isn't to become an expert, but to engage your brain in new ways that promote growth and plasticity. Community centers, libraries, and senior centers often offer classes specifically designed for older adults. Learning alongside peers provides social connection, which is another powerful factor in maintaining cognitive health and emotional well-being. If attending classes isn't possible, online tutorials, library books, or educational television programs can provide similar benefits. Now let's reinforce something incredibly important that I want you to truly understand and believe. Your cognitive health is not lost, and it's never too late to improve. Your brain possesses remarkable adaptability throughout your entire life. The neuroplasticity I mentioned earlier means that your brain is constantly capable of forming new connections, growing new cells, and healing from past damage. Your mind truly wants to heal, and your body knows exactly how to respond to peace and proper care. Every time you practice one of these natural techniques, you're not just managing symptoms, you're actually facilitating genuine healing and restoration. The brain changes you've experienced due to chronic stress and anxiety can be reversed when you consistently provide your nervous system with the support it needs. Even implementing just one calming habit per day can make a huge difference over time. You don't need to overhaul your entire lifestyle overnight. Small, consistent changes accumulate into significant improvements in both your emotional well-being and cognitive function. Be patient and gentle with yourself as you begin incorporating these practices into your daily routine. Remember that healing happens gradually, often in ways that are subtle at first. You might notice that you sleep a little better after a week of evening breathing exercises, or that your memory feels slightly sharper after a month of daily walks. These small improvements are signs that your brain is responding positively to the care you're providing. It's also important to understand that occasional setbacks are completely normal and don't indicate failure. If you have a day when anxiety feels overwhelming or your memory seems particularly foggy, this doesn't mean the techniques aren't working. Healing isn't linear, and your brain needs time to establish new patterns and pathways. The most important step is simply beginning. Choose one or two of the techniques that resonate most strongly with you and commit to practicing them consistently for at least 2 weeks. This gives your brain enough time to begin responding to the positive changes you're making. As we conclude our time together, I want to remind you of the key insights we've explored today. Anxiety and memory problems are intimately connected, and both are responses to chronic stress that damages your brain over time. However, this damage is not permanent, and it can be reversed through natural approaches that work with your body's own healing mechanisms. The techniques we've discussed, from deep breathing and nature walks to brain-nourishing foods and calming herbs, are all safe, proven methods that are particularly well-suited for people over 60. These approaches don't just mask symptoms, they address the underlying causes of anxiety and cognitive decline while supporting your brain's natural ability to heal and regenerate. I encourage you to try 2 or 3 of these practices over the next week and pay attention to how you feel. Notice any changes in your sleep quality, your ability to focus, your emotional reactivity, or your memory function. Even small improvements are signs that your brain is responding positively to the care you're providing. Remember, you deserve to feel calm, focused, and in control again. The anxiety and memory concerns you're experiencing are not inevitable parts of aging. They're responses to stress that can be addressed naturally and effectively. Your brain has an incredible capacity for healing and adaptation, and it's never too late to begin supporting this process. Before we part ways, I'd love to connect with you further. If this message has resonated with you, please let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I always enjoy hearing from viewers and learning about your experiences with these natural approaches. If you found this information helpful, please consider liking this video so that more seniors can discover these gentle, effective techniques for reducing anxiety and preserving memory. Your engagement helps ensure that this important information reaches others who might benefit from it. I also invite you to subscribe to our channel for more content focused on natural senior wellness. We regularly share research-backed practical approaches for maintaining physical and mental health as you age, all presented in the same gentle, accessible way you've experienced today. If this video has helped you in any way, or if you're feeling hopeful about implementing some of these techniques, please consider tapping the thanks button below. Your support helps us continue creating content that serves the senior community with the respect and care you deserve. Take care of yourself, be patient with your healing journey, and remember that every small step you take toward reducing anxiety and supporting your memory is an investment in your overall well-being and quality of life. You have everything you need within you to feel calm, clear, and confident again.